Hello everyone, Jim Hodges here, Charlie here. Charlie is a little over 9 months old, Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, came in for our residency program. Really sweet guy, just overly excited, loves people, loves dogs, loves everyone, likes to jump on people, likes to pull on his leash. Other than that, he's just a really good guy. And what was our goal? Our goal was to put some leadership on him, loving leadership, if you will. That's all leadership is when you do things where your dog respects and loves you even more than they did before. So it's a proper balance. He's done real well. He's allowed to be on furniture, and he can pretty much do anything he wants at home as long as we're calling the shots. That's the important thing for him to understand it. I'm going to work through, I'm going to show you what's going on. If he makes a mistake, I'm going to provide a consequence. Consequence is important. We'll talk about that in just a second. But I'm going to praise him a lot as well. You're going to see I don't have a treat bag on me. I have treats in my pockets. I like to load up treats. He's especially a treat hound, and I don't want him to be a treat hound. Still doesn't mean we can't use treats whenever we want to, but the proper thing that we want him to do is obey because we ask him to. And the treats are like a tip or a bonus for a job well done. Okay, you ready? Let's go. Atta boy, hear that voice. Words, touch, treat, toy, positive emotion. That's one of the things that took me a little longer than when I started training way back many years ago. We want to be positive, we want to encourage you, but we want to do that with words and touch and treat, okay? Why? Because when we communicate on all these different levels, we're communicating across different senses for him, and he's learning to understand this overall, not just from something we say in our mouth, but through the senses. Really good boy. You notice when I stop, he sat. He didn't have to sit. That's up to him. The thing his job is when we're let's go, is not to be out in front of me right now, to be by my side, watching where I'm going, and not trying to pick up stuff or smell the ground when we're walking. One more time. Let's go. So you see, loose leash right here. Atta boy, look at you. Good boy. See how excited he gets? And we want that, and that's where encouragement comes. So he's following right there with me. This time I'm gonna give him a little treat. A little praise and touch. Good boy. And look how he's watching me. Atta boy. So what will happen? Because we've been really working on that. Atta boy. Looks like I gave him a treat for nothing. But you know what I gave him a treat for? He was looking me in the eyes. And when he was looking in the eyes, I wanted to tell him, good boy, reach down and pat and give the treat. What is that gonna do? If you watch my videos, you're gonna see where the dog's watching me an awful lot, and that's how we start to build it, where they start to look at you. We don't have to give them a treat every time, but we're always doing words and touch and positive emotion with it. Good boy. So you ready? Let's go. Sit. Look how he's watching me. Good boy. Sit means sit. When I ask him to sit, he's got to sit, and he's got to hold that sit. If he was to pop up out that sit or not do it, I would have tapped up right above his head, and I'd told him, no, sit. And then we sat, good boy. Not great boy, but good boy. Now, if he sat first time and I said, good boy, and he jumped up, I would bite him and put him back, because he can't release on my excitement or his excitement. So he's in a sit. How do we get out? We can go to another command. I'm going to show you the predecessor to the come command. Watch. Break. Good boy. Good boy. So I went break. He came right here. Notice how my hands are right here. And a boy. Good boy. Notice how my hands are right here. I'm giving him a target to come here. Why do I do that? So when he's coming to me, if I had my hand here, and this is where he would like to go, to my right hand in the beginning, he's even looking at my hand a little bit right now, he would come here. If he saw a squirrel or something, he might take off. But when we make him have to focus on us, the odds are much stronger he's not going to get distracted by something, okay? So I break, and step back, good boy, pet him, love him, atta boy. So that's the break. Did you hear that tone of how I said it? And when he came to me, hands here, praise, love. That's going to be the COME command here in just a few minutes. We practice it on leash and off leash. Heck, while we're doing it, he's watching me. I don't want to load up a treat. I have no treats in my hand. Let's go. I don't want him to know. So you see, I'm being smart. We start walking, I get a treat loaded up in my hand. And with him, I have to use different hands so he's not targeting anything, but working the way I ask him to do, okay? Good boy. So what will happen, I'll try to get an angle for you. and I'm not gonna do it. Why? Did you see he was getting ready to walk to me? The worst thing I wanna do, and it's not really a major problem, when I see he wants to come to me and I'm getting ready to give him a command, I don't want him to anticipate or read my mind. I want him to wait until I tell him to do. 6 months from now, when he's doing everything and we're in sync together, that may be okay, as long as he doesn't start doing things only his way. I hope that makes sense. Let's go. So we're gonna come back, sit, good, down, hand signal for down. You notice we did sit, good boy, and then down, good boy. Usually it's an open palm, but I got a treat right here in my hand. All right, so he down, now he's got to do the down and hold it. We'll do the down, but we'll also do something called down, S-T-A-Y. S-T-A-Y means he's got to pack his bag, he's gonna be there a while. I put an open palm right in front of his head, tell him to stay. We'll put him there in the middle of the room and the floor where my grandchildren are, the dogs or what have you, and tell him to stay. And when we tell him that down stay, that means pack your bags, dude. You're gonna be there a while. You don't have to pay attention to me. I might give him a yak snack. He likes yak snacks, by the way. Give him something to chew on. He can take a nap on the down stay. But and he can even smell the ground. But if he picks something up, I would bite him for that, especially outside. Pick something up inside, that's usually a toy you gave, that's okay. No, down. Good. So you saw what happened. Good boy. So you saw as soon as I said good, his tail went to go a little bit. Don't want to intimidate him. We're not here to intimidate, dominate, break his spirit, hurt him, or have him fear us. Okay? So down, stay. Pray. Also use a stay sort of like this. Pretend like he's in the kitchen, okay? And we want him to stay in the kitchen. So I told you about the hand signal that I used. He would be in the kitchen. I would go, Charlie, stay. I don't care if he lays down or not. And I'd walk out the room. In the beginning, I would have the leash on. As long as he stayed behind that door, we're good. Attaboy. If he came through, we would pick up the leash, and we start everything with a loose leash. We'd go, no, 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 stay. Good boy. And we immediately walk out again. We want him to understand that stay could be confined to him supposed to stay in a certain area. In this case, it was a room. Open hand signal. Walking out the front door, stay, okay? He'll learn to stay, and that's something that you have to work on so that he understands what that word means. Let's go. So we have the down from the side, down. So we're up here, down here. Good boy. He gets excited. Let's go. Sit. All right, come. Good boy. I wait till he looks at me, break. So when he comes to me like that, and that's here, I gave him the hand signal, he comes, I like my dogs to sit in front of me. If you don't want them to, you don't have to. Off leash come, I'm not near as critical. I am critical, but I don't care so much about you. The biggest thing is you want him to target here so you can pet him, love him, give him a treat, toy, just your love, whatever, so that he's happy with it. Frank. So one of the things about the sit command, let me back up a minute. When I tell him down, if he's going to be there for more than 2 minutes, I'll usually put the S-T-A-Y. On a sit, I try not to keep them in a sit more than 30 seconds or a minute. Depends on the dog, but I don't want to put that pressure on their hip area, their rear end. Saw a leaf. You ready? Let's go. Okay, there. Ah, boy, good boy. That's a good boy. So now we have 3 different places that we've been working with him. We have a bed inside. Get on the bed, lay down, sit down, stand up, read a book, smoke a cigarette. I don't care what he does. He needs to stay on this bed. Pray. He can do that easily for an hour or 2. Then we have a small dog bed that I put in my office with me while I'm working or I'm making phone calls. I'll put him on this little cushion bed, which has sort of got walls around it. He can curl up, he's there. When we allow him up on the furniture, and now what we do, we're a little bit different, we'll put a blanket or even that little pad if we like, and tell him to place there. Don't know that you care about that so much, just putting a blanket's a nice target, but if you don't care where he gets on the couch, you just tell him to load up, or we'll talk about that in just a second. And once he gets there, if you want him to place, you tell him place. Just realize if you tell him to place, you gotta tell him not to place or break him at some point in time. I hope that makes sense. But we put it, because we don't allow our dogs on the furniture, I put a little blanket down and I had him get up and I told him to place right there. When my grandchildren came over, let him get up on the furniture. He was petting and love him, and I made him come and get on the bed, and he did a really good job. The bed was the blanket. The other thing I was talking about, though, he was liking to jump on people, okay, because he's so loving, so excited. One of the things we'll do is we'll hand our leash just like this, and we have to do everything with a loose leash. We have to, because if we don't have our hands on him, we can't control what he's going to do in that moment of time. And if he starts to jump, I'll just tap the leash and say, no, that's a bite. That's a consequence. We're not here to intimidate, dominate, break his spirit, hurt him, or have him fears, but we are here to touch him. If you think about that little tap around the neck, he's done that when he was in a litter, dogs playing and fighting and biting at each other. Mom did it, possibly to reprimand him. It's a natural, instinctive thing. Again, we're not here to intimidate, dominate. So we would say, no, bite him. When he quits, good boy. Not great boy, but good boy. Then the day that he gets ready to do something bad and he looks and says, oh, I better not do that, that's one of those glory moments where you praise him to death, tell him how good he is. Look, we're gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna make mistakes, you're gonna make mistakes, he's gonna make mistakes. There's only been one perfect being to ever walk this earth, in my belief, and I hope yours, Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior, okay? He was perfect. We're gonna make mistakes. But that doesn't stop us from trying to do a better job each and every time when we get out and work with our dogs. I hope that makes sense. Let's go. So the next thing, and this is what we do on the furniture, we use actually two different commands, simply because Rachel and I like two different commands. I'll say load up, and she says hup. Hup is what we use with our working dogs. See, he was ready to go. I don't know if you noticed, you might play that back. I didn't see it, but I felt it. He started to go. He felt the leash get tight, and what did he do? He stopped. Good boy. Okay, load up. Hup. Atta boy, good boy. Drink. And that's what we've been doing on the furniture. So sit. Last thing, when we do let's go, good boy. Good boy. Last thing, when we are in public, when we're walking let's go, I want him right here. But a lot of people like a little more controlled command, and we call that the heel command. The heel command is just like this. Heel, he's walking right here by our side. We stop, he sits automatically, and he holds it. Very good boy. Realize, in the beginning when we worked with him, he'd get excited, he'd pop out the command, we'd have to tap him back down. No, sit. His job is to walk right with me and sit. He wants to be excited. You want to give him excitement, you want to give him love and praise, but you want to let him know that that love and praise can't be an excuse to get out of a command. So here we go again. Heel. Watch what happens when I step off. See how he's coming right back to my box? Good boy. Heel. And look how he's walking. Good boy. And then watch. Break. Ah, boy. Good boy. Good boy. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's go. So the other thing about treats, I didn't give him a treat then. You saw I praised him. I don't give treats for free. My dogs, I don't give treats for free. They accomplish something when I do it. If you're one of those people that like to give a lot of treats, that's fine. Ask a lot of commands or ask your dog to do a lot to earn it. The one thing that I will not do, unless we're in the beginning and a dog is really trying, I don't give treats unless they do it right the first time. So I loaded up a treat right here. I want to give him a treat because he's doing such a good job here. I hope you think. He got a little distracted right here with the down. That's okay. No, down. It's going to get better and better. Let's go. Hey, right here. Oh, you about made a mistake. Good boy. You notice his foot hit and he immediately went down. Let's go. So if that continued, we'd bite it, but he's just excited. Come. We can't make excuses for it, but it gives us something to work on. Break. Atta boy. Hope this makes sense. I talked a little bit more about treats and behaviors. They're very important. What you doing? Treats, behaviors, but I think everything will be fine. What you got? Good boy. That was in his tail. But you know, if you need me, you pick up the phone and give me a call, 336-945-3232. Never a charge for a follow-up. I want to help you. I want you guys to have a great life together. Whenever I leave town, I've got at least 2 dogs going with me every time I leave. I want them to be a part of my family. I enjoy them, I love them, and I want the same thing to happen for you guys. Thank you so much, and God bless. Take care.